everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're talking about the truth behind space. And on our streams, we always start off with the beer of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Today we got
Know about that shit.
some St. Arnold fancy lawnmower. You drink a beer, get your lawn mowed. It says that it's Texas's oldest craft brewery.
It does, dude.
Interesting. It's a 4.9%er.
This is Patron Saint. What does that mean?
Patron Saint.
Oh, it's got some Patron in there. Liquor beer.
Boss.
Liquor beer, bud.
Cheers to it, Jim.
Cheers to it, Jim Bob. Yeah, buddy. It's a little stout.
Really?
Oh, you don't think so?
Nah.
It's got like a shiner aftertaste or something.
Yeah, kind of like a shot or something. Oh, it's not bad. I like it. St. Arnold.
That shit right there good.
Arnold.
That shit right there good, buddy.
Check them out.
It's good though.
Big beer.
I like his flamingo.
Yeah.
He's a flamingo guy. You know about that shit.
Good stuff.
You know about it?
Good stuff. Wonder if there's flamingos in space.
There probably is.
Right?
Floating around, dude. Just one leg.
One leg up.
One leg up, bud.
So what you got for us? The truth behind space. Yeah.
Truth behind space, dude.
Yeah. Interesting.
So this is an article by Jagran Josh. Jagran.
That's weird. He's got like his names are backwards, or maybe it's like.
Oh, maybe I read it backwards. No. Yeah, I mean, so. Yeah. First name for a last name, bud.
Yeah, and last name for a verse.
Yeah, buddy. All right. NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. It is a government-based agency of the U.S. that plays an important role in science and technology related to air and space. In 1957, the space age started with the launch of the Soviet satellite Sputnik.
Oh, Sputnik. Man, he's been up there a long time. I wonder if it's still active or what.
Yeah, so that was a space race.
Doing whatever it's doing. Oh, yeah. So
Yeah, you remember learning about that in school, huh?
No.
I remember learning about it in school. Yeah, so I don't remember how it went. The Soviets were working on it first, or we were, but regardless of who was first, the other guy heard about it and they were like, oh shit, we need to get on that. And so then we started racing Russia against who was going to go first, and they beat us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they beat us on that. So they sent up Sputnik, and so they sent up, I want to say that was the first satellite ever.
That's what that said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one, at least that we knew of, there was maybe some scientist that had a toaster oven with, spatulas hanging out of it.
Yeah, he threw that bitch up in space, huh? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, so they beat us on that. And so then we turned around and said, we're going to the moon, Jimmy.
We're going to the moon, boy.
Some of the works of NASA is to conduct scientific research, help scientists to learn more about Earth, to study solar system and beyond. Also, new developments help to improve air travel and other aspects of flight. Various other works are also performed by NASA.
So that's interesting, bro, because think about that. So you've never been to space, you don't know anything about it, and then you're going to build a shuttle to go to space? How do you know what it takes, what it can handle, what it can't?
It's a big gamble, man.
It's just a gamble.
I guess so.
I mean, that's wild. That's wild.
And you gotta be wild to be the first guy to jump on and be like, I'll ride this shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you don't know what is going to happen there, you know?
Right.
The other thing that's weird is like, well, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, so it's weird because also fire needs oxygen to even be fire. And in space, there's no oxygen. But back in the day, we didn't know that. We didn't know anything about space, right? We've never been. So, like, you never had a sample, you never experienced it, you don't know anything about it. I mean, it's wild. Like, how do you even... The Earth... Okay, so the Earth has an ozone right now, right? And so that's what's protecting us from the sun, and that's what they're worried about with climate change and stuff, is if we didn't have an ozone, then we'd all be burning. We'd be fucking dead in flames. So once you breach that, how are you not like fucking on fire?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I almost wonder if the satellite that we sent helped us a little bit with that.
Well, good.
Like maybe we were able to read oxygen
thermometers
levels,
and
thermometers,
things like that.
and because I highly doubt it. It just is good for our phones and shit or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like it can do a lot of things. There'd be no point in sending it up there if it didn't.
Well, yeah.
Because you can't take it back. You can't bring it back and then adjust it and then send it back or whatever.
Right.
I guess you can just send another or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know, I think there's like
It's weird, man.
thousands of, maybe even like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of satellites orbiting space. In fact,
How
there's
did I run into?
there's a company, I think it's called what is it, Space Link, or no, it's like it's some company that you can get internet now from satellites in space, and they got satellites like all around the world. How? Now.
Yeah, see, and that's weird. So you can just be some internet guy
Yeah.
and just be like, hey, I'm just going to send this satellite up there.
Right.
And the government, but you probably have to get it all. You can't just send that.
Right.
They probably get, if you did, it'd probably get shot out of the sky or something. Somebody would think it was something else or some shit. With all this radar and all this fucking shit, you probably got to get it like, you know, you got to run it through a chain of people or something.
Like, how are any of the satellites really launched up there, though, you know? On a shuttle? With a just big rocket that falls off?
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. Is like, what happens to that? Like, the part that detaches?
Yeah, it's just floating in space.
Just see you later. So that
Falls back to Earth and lands on someone's roof.
Fuck. Or maybe it's in orbit too. So you just got this empty like
Right?
vessel following behind your fucking satellite.
That's interesting.
That's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. In 1958, NASA was established by President Dwight D. Eisenhower. I remember learning about that in school too. At that time, it was established as a civilian independent agency of the United States federal government executive branch. So it wasn't even like involved with the government at first. Even though the president at the time created it or whatever. So how does that work? Oh, I guess you're still a citizen. Like everybody's still a citizen regardless of who you are or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, NASA had to have been a bunch of scientists coming together and, you know, I don't know.
See, I mean, really, that's not even that long ago. 1958? I mean, that's a long time ago, but that's not...
Yeah, 70,
Like, my parents were teenagers.
yeah, 74 years.
Maybe not. They were
No, yeah.
young as fuck. They're little ass kids.
Yeah.
But still, you know, they were born before that happened.
Right. Pretty wild.
Yeah. So before the establishment of NASA, President Woodrow Wilson started the National Advisory Committee of Aeronautics, NACA. The main function is to supervise and to direct scientific research and to study problems related to flight. So before NASA was NACA, but it doesn't sound like they were really involved in space. It was just everything that flies.
Huh. Airplanes and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it says. To research and study problems related to flight. So I'm sure that they're probably still around. Well, no, because it says before. Yeah, so maybe not. I guess NASA pushed them out. I guess they're doing what the NACA was doing and what NASA's doing now.
Yeah, I think NASA has like those radars or whatever, you know, that can see anything flying in the air anywhere.
That's true.
Maybe even space, like
Like-
satellites and shit.
Yeah. So you can see something flying in a different part of the world.
Well, yeah. So I mean, they say that there's asteroids that are coming close by us. you know,
Yeah, they do claim that a
all
lot.
these different
Shit.
near misses, shit. You know. So
Yeah, so that's got to be with the satellite.
they can see it somehow. You know.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the Soviet satellite is all doing the same shit too.
I mean, we also have, you know, crazy telescopes and all that as well, but still they're figuring out direction that it's traveling and at what speed and how long it's going to be before it's close to us or whatever.
Yeah, they can determine the size and weight and shit, I think. It may not be 100% accurate, but fuck, if you can get 90% accurate on that
Yeah.
from a fucking telescope and a satellite, that's pretty badass.
Yeah.
So Sputnik 1, which was the first artificial satellite in the world that was launched by the Soviets just 1 year before the establishment of NASA.
Oh, wow. So we still had like groups that were working toward it. It just wasn't NASA yet.
Right, yeah, so kind of sounds like that kind of put NASA into becoming what it is.
Yeah.
We didn't like we didn't like getting beat or something, I guess.
Yeah.
A series of satellites named Landsat was launched into space in 1972 with the purpose to click the photograph of Earth's surface from the outer space. So that's good for all the flat Earth people, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, man?
The flat earthers don't believe in space at all.
Mm. Hot damn, buddy.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Not believing that.
Right. They think that, in fact, flat Earth, there's no gravity either. The reason why there's gravity or whatever is because the flat Earth is moving up always.
Oh,
So it's
then that would be in
traveling up,
space.
which forces us down.
But they said it'd be traveling through space.
Well,
They'd have to travel through something if it's traveling.
I guess you could call it space, but they don't believe in other planets or outer space or stars or any of that.
Huh. That's wild, man. I don't know, man.
Well,
So how do they explain the stars and shit?
it's just
It's just our sky.
like a screen or whatever, you know. Government created screen. They can control the when the daylight is, when it's nighttime, the clouds and all that shit. It's like a projection.
That's like that movie Jim Carrey was in.
Yeah.
What is that movie called? It's called like Breakaway or something.
No.
It's not called Breakaway.
It's not Breakaway.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it's actually a pretty good movie. Honestly.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was his name or something. And he like.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that was what it was. Some shit like that.
The Truman Show.
The Truman Show.
Yeah.
That's what that shit was called. By the end of 1960s, President John F. Kennedy gave NASA a goal of sending a man to the moon. On July 20th, 1969, the first man walked on the moon as a part of the Apollo 11 mission. During all Apollo missions, around 12 men walked on the moon. The lunar landing of Apollo 13 in 1970 was aborted after the explosion of an oxygen tank.
So that explains how the flames work, because they had oxygen tanks probably supplying the plane,
Right. That's what I was.
but also in the aircraft for you to survive.
Yeah.
Die of
Right.
suffocation or
Yeah.
breathe in all the oxygen and carbon monoxide or whatever
Yeah.
build up in the space shuttle.
Yeah, but so the other thing is like if space doesn't have an atmosphere, I don't know. I feel like that would affect the oxygen or something, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean
Maybe.
that's a big question for a lot of things, you know. I mean, like, really, it's like a vacuum. Space is
Yeah.
like a vacuum, you know. And so, like, how do you do anything? How does the space shuttle not just implode in on itself? How is the sun not melting the fucking space shuttle? We did some research yesterday or something, and they were saying that it's like 250 degrees Fahrenheit in space if the sun can see you, and it's like negative 250 degrees if the sun can't. And so you're gonna get in this one little astronaut suit and go floating around in fucking space and live? How's it not just crushing you in? And in '69, bro, we barely had freaking black and white television. There's maybe color television. But then there's a space shuttle. So the moon is 238,900 miles from Earth. And so we didn't have cell phones or nothing, dude. We barely had landlines. And so how could we talk to astronauts that far away and film it and be showing it on live television and all that? You know, that's where people say, you know, it was a hoax. It was just filmed here and made it look like we went to the moon.
But so I just wonder why. What would be the purpose of hoaxing that and thinking all of that
Well,
for the people?
if the world is a screen and you see the moon at night, then you gotta have some reason, something to go by, and then you're making a bunch of money. You know, NASA's making millions and millions of dollars and going to space.
Yeah, just from like being funded by whatever, whoever,
Yeah.
whatever.
Our tax dollars, probably.
Wait.
Which is insane.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I feel like material on Earth would be suitable for space since it came from Earth. Earth is in space, and Earth is fine in space. So like if we got metals and shit from the Earth, you know, I feel like that would be strong.
Well, the problem with metals, though, is they conduct heat.
Right.
So what I was hearing is that the space shuttle is made of some special aluminum and titanium, but it's coated with like a fire brick type material, something that it could be like 1,000 degrees. The brick could be 1,000 degrees, and you can go touch it, and it won't burn you at all.
Oh, so it like almost deflects instead of absorbs. That's trippy.
Yeah.
That's trippy. The research aircraft used by NASA, known as SR-71 or Blackbird, for testing high-speed, high-altitude aeronautical research in 1950s. It was secretly designed at Lockheed's Advanced Development Company, also known as Skunk Works.
As what?
Skunk Works.
Skunk Works?
Skunk Works. Must be a little stanky over there. It's an odd name.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, Lockheed and Martin or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like kind of alongside with NASA, sort of.
In military.
Yeah, they make helicopters and jets and engines for all of the above.
Yeah, see, I think that's like the fastest aircraft, at least in that time. I mean, we may have something faster now, but it was super fast, and you could be like seeing the Earth's curvature.
Right, yeah. Like you can
At
kind of
its height.
break the surface, sort of type shit or something. That'd be insane.
Yeah.
Being a jet and flying up there like.
Well, see, and that's the other thing that's weird is like on all the videos and movies and stuff that you see when the space shuttle is coming back to Earth or whatever to get through the Earth's ozone, it is hot as fuck. Flames and burning and all this crazy shit. So, like, how is that plane fucking not the same? If it's up there in the ozone and shit, it's fucking.
Well, maybe some of the same. Maybe it's maybe some of the same shit you were talking about for the
Maybe.
space shuttle.
Right? But you think that should be heavy.
Yeah, but it's got a jet.
I know, but still. Yeah.
I don't know. It's all weird, man.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of weird stuff. The headquarters of NASA is in Washington, D.C. It has 9 centers. The Jet Propulsion Laboratory and 7 test and research facilities located in several states around the country. More than 17,000 people work for NASA, and many work with the agency as government contractors. Astronauts are the best-known NASA employees. Most of the workers in NASA are scientists and engineers. Other jobs like writers, lawyers, teachers, etc.
You know, that's interesting, dude, because I thought it was in, like, Austin, Texas or something.
Oh, yeah?
Where NASA is, and that's where they launched their spacecrafts and stuff from.
Yeah.
But now they have a big competitor, you know, SpaceX with Elon Musk's rockets, and he's got the most high-tech rockets. He's got the only rocket that can launch, go to outer space, and then come back and land in the same spot.
Yeah.
Now, he's also had several failed attempts.
Yeah.
They cost him billions of dollars, but it's like pocket change for this guy.
I guess so.
Great.
I wonder if he hasn't sent nobody, right?
I
He's just sent
don't
the.
think it's ever been manned done. I think it's all automated.
So what he's doing with that though? Well, he's got a rover on Mars right now, I think. He's got a Tesla rover.
Yeah, he does have. Well, he's got a Tesla car. on Mars. Well, maybe it's just
Oh, I heard about that too.
maybe it's just floating in space, but he definitely has rovers on Mars. Because his goal is to move to Mars, have human life on Mars one day.
Wouldn't it be nuts? We start expanding life outside of Earth.
Yeah.
Like you find humans over there, here, over there.
Well, we kind of already have. We have the International Space Station, and there's humans that are out there like all the time.
That's true. But it's still kind of being on Earth because you're in Earth's gravitational pull still.
You're in orbit.
Or Earth's orbit, yeah.
Not their gravitational pull.
Well, I think that's how you are in orbit, is from the gravitational pull. Right?
See, I don't know, because like the moon, because it doesn't pull towards you. It just stays right where it's at.
Yeah, it's like you'll just get stuck right there.
Yeah, because the moon is doing the same thing. That's why it's circling Earth. And the moon itself has some gravity, but much less than Earth. They say.
I would say that's why we have tides and shit. It's because of the moon. Or something like that. The moon affects the ocean's tides and shit. So.
Oh, really?
I think so.
It's kind of odd.
From its gravitational pull or something, it kind of like fucks with the waves in the ocean or something like that. I remember talking about that in school, I think. Yeah.
So space is only 62 miles from Earth, from the surface. It's like not very far.
It's like an hour drive.
Like an hour drive at 60 miles an hour.
Maybe one day they'll just build a road. We go straight up to that motherfucker.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, to the space station or something like that. Like, we should have like an elevator.
Oh, damn. Hey, you can sleep like a motherfucker on that thing.
Right.
They're gonna have to have a little bathroom.
If it's magnetic or something, dude, it can be very, very fast.
And then you look like this when you get up there. All twisted up like a pretzel and shit.
Yeah, it's like in China they have those trains that run on magnets and they go like freaking 500 miles an hour or some shit.
Yeah, but you'd have to slowly get up to that speed. You couldn't just do it.
Well, yeah.
You'd be like,
same scenario.
Your eyes be like,
same scenario, but I guess that as soon as you breached the ozone, the atmosphere, then you're like floating. You'd be floating in that. So.
Yeah, imagine working on that elevator.
I wonder what the longest tunnel is. I wonder if there's any tunnels that are, 62 miles. Probably not. That's a long way.
That's a long. Well, I don't know. Maybe like.
It's a long way.
Well, maybe I was gonna say maybe a subway or something like that, but you leave the tunnel and then you go back in a tunnel or something.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be trippy.
Okay.
Fucking elevator. Currently, NASA has astronauts living and working on the International Space Station. Everywhere in the solar system, NASA's robotic space probes have visited, and also in various celestial bodies. With the help of telescope, scientists look at the far reaches of space. In fact, satellites helped and provide several data about Earth, which had helped to understand several phenomena and valuable information for better understanding the weather patterns.
Yeah,
NASA's about to be the anchor man, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know they've been definitely helping out with this hurricane's about to hit.
Right. So they can see all that from the space station and have pictures of it, how big it is and all that.
I read something earlier today. They're talking it's stage 5 now. So I guess I'm about to make this guy a little more famous, but There's somebody out in Florida, and they're all calling him the real life Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, I already heard.
This guy's famous, man. Yeah, dude.
He's on a boat.
He's on a boat.
Rescue.
A little one.
He's in shelter now.
Oh, they got him out of there?
Yeah, they got him out today.
Apparently, he's already rode one hurricane out on that fucking boat.
That's great.
The last hurricane Florida had before this one, he rode out on that fucking boat, apparently. That's what he's saying.
That's wild.
That's what he was saying, dude. Man, you got that fucking... Dude, this boat was like the size of my car.
Yeah, like a little dinghy.
I mean, it was... I mean, not that bad, but it's... You'd want like a Navy ship for that, man. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe a smaller boat is better. Shit, I don't know.
Well,
Fuck all boats.
yeah, they're talking about 180-mile-an-hour winds or something. Even a little boat would be gone. Plus, today, I believe, it was like the winds was creating water tornadoes on its way in
Fuck.
the ocean.
Yeah, the water's already like rising real good out there. Videos I seen and shit.
Pretty wild.
That's nuts, man.
Glad
I wish him the best, man. Huh?
Glad I'm not in Florida.
Yeah. Seriously. That sucks, man. I wish him the best. NASA also showed movie named Armageddon to new staff and then questioned them about inaccuracies in the film. At least 168 have been identified. In 1972, NASA and the Department of Health, Education and Welfare founded the learning channel TLC. I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's like a TV channel.
Yeah, I think so. Have you seen that movie Armageddon? I think I've seen it.
I saw it long.
Yeah, it's an old movie. I think it's old.
You know what else is weird? Is TLC is Tender Love and Care.
Didn't love and care. Give a little TLC to the old rims of the car or something. TLC, baby. Tender love and care, Jimmy.
Right?
NASA has a program for dealing with life on other planets, and if it should be discovered, known as the Office of Planetary Protection.
Like our planet's protection or theirs?
I would assume it's probably for us.
Yeah.
I would assume so. That's true.
So they have an office, so then there must be some kind of worry or some kind of thought that there is.
I don't think you think it for no reason.
Right?
That's what I would think. That's true. A water world is also discovered by NASA, which is about 40 light years away from the Earth and might contain some exotic materials like hot ice and superfluid water. What?
You said how many? 40 light years?
40 light years away. How the fuck they know that?
You know, the speed of light is like the fastest thing on Earth.
Yeah.
Or measurement of distance.
Yeah, light years a long way.
Light year is like the distance that the light travels in a year. Can you imagine?
That's fucking far. And it's 40 of them. There's not just
It
one.
would have to be like trillions of miles or something. More, maybe more.
Probably solar systems away.
Right.
Type shit.
Galaxies away. Yeah.
Galaxies away or some shit.
Yeah. But yeah, how do they know that?
Yeah.
Or someone's just, making all this shit.
Yeah, see, I just don't see the point though. Like distracting us or something.
I mean, that's like saying, what's the point of magician. They're just fooling you, but they're making money off of it.
Well, it is entertaining too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so was
Bullshit,
Space.
motherfucker.
So was space. So
Yeah, I mean that is true.
space and alien life and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it could be for the gram, dude. The spaceship was designed by NASA, which is capable of using a nuclear explosion to deflect an oncoming asteroid. Also, a NASA scientist invented the Super Soaker Squirt Gun. You're gonna shoot a damn fucking water gun at a motherfucking asteroid.
That's
A
funny.
big fireball flying at you. Fucking bust out the damn fucking water gun from Walmart and shit.
You see? That's fun.
Dude. But that's fucking crazy. I don't know, man. I feel like you'd get off course real quick. If you had to use that,
Well, yeah. And
how would that not fucking be suicide?
imagine like launching a bomb, an atom bomb at an asteroid in space. I mean, what are you gonna do to it? Blow it up
What are you
into a
gonna do
bunch
to
of
you?
other pieces?
Yeah, then you got a bunch of, not so big, but fucking, yeah. I don't know. I feel like you're going to go flying that way, and that thing's going to go into a bunch of pieces.
So is it coming off the shuttle, or they can launch it from Earth?
Well, fuck. It probably is a shuttle, because how long would it take to send from Earth?
Not very long.
Yeah, so a spaceship was designed by NASA, which is capable of using a nuclear explosion to deflect an oncoming asteroid.
Okay, so the whole spacecraft is the bomb. See, I mean,
But see, how does the bomb do anything if there's no oxygen and all
Exactly.
the shit? And-
exactly.
But the way they explain a nuclear bomb working is the separation of an atom. You know, that's another trippy ass thing too. Like you take the nucleus and the electrons or something, and you go like this. And when you do that, boom! Like, what? Who the hell knows that? You can't even see it. You can't see protons, neutrons, electrons, any kind of tron.
Yeah. You said nucleus, but you meant neutron.
No, yeah, so the nucleus,
It's in a cell.
so, yeah, maybe neutron is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, maybe nucleus is, yeah, so neutron, proton, electron, yeah, for an atom. But an atom is everything, too. Like,
Right.
we are atoms.
Yeah,
All the material we use is atoms.
right. Yeah, everything.
That's what else is weird about
everything in
that
the
shit,
periodic table's got atoms.
So how come that shit don't happen when you get your finger cut off or something? What if that shit happen? You get your finger cut off? Boom!
Yeah, because like, see, they tried to.
Hey, will you grab me a lawnmower, dude? You already knew.
They tried to, like, so they build these tunnels in a circle, right? And then they take these two atoms, and their design, what the design is, and it's like huge, right? But the design is that, boom, if you can get them two to fucking collide at just the right time and shit, you have like free electricity and shit for a long time. To produce power for a long time. That's like kind of like the Iron Man theory and all that shit with the arc reactor and shit, you know? It's like those atoms fucking colliding,
That's weird. I do know that.
creating energy.
I do know that our Navy has submarines that are nuclear powered, and they can go like a year with that. And it's like a small
Well, see, that's where most of our power comes from, is nuclear power plants. And so it's very, very fucking dangerous.
Yeah, because there was one that fucked up in Russia.
Yeah, if they blow up or something, it's a huge bomb.
Yeah, it was like in the 50s or 60s or something like that. They had a spill or some shit,
Yeah.
and it fucked some shit
Very,
up.
very radioactive, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, you're,
You look like a Loch monster.
radiation is no joke, man, for real.
Yeah, I was watching River Monsters, and that guy went out there to this lake or pond or whatever the fuck it was that was right by that plant.
Oh, that has, yeah.
Yeah, he was catching two-headed fish and all kind of shit. Yeah,
Yeah, see, that's
fish
bizarre.
that had like another body growing off its side or something. Two-headed fish, and its eyes were in different spots or something. Yeah, man, that was a real scary. I think it was in Russia.
So imagine the
Something
sun.
like that.
So the sun is like a bunch of atoms fucking bouncing into each other over and over and over. That's what's creating heat, and that's what
Light
gives us light and everything, energy and all that. You can have solar power from it and all this shit from the sun. It's tripped out.
Yeah.
The sun's a giant fucking atom bomb, or
Yeah, see, that's
and it's radiation as well.
right. Yeah. It fucking is. It's radioactive as fuck.
Yeah.
But we need that shit. Yeah, so that's another weird thing. Like solar panels, like
Absorb that radiation or something.
sun.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way we kind of need a little radiation.
Right. It's just
You just can't do much.
like, so that's how X-rays work.
Yeah.
Radiation.
Yeah, that's why they make you drink that thing and shit or whatever.
Yeah,
Or I think it makes it.
magnet vest.
Yeah, to protect the rest of your body and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. It's trippy shit, dude. On November 26th, 2011, NASA launched a mission to Mars and it landed on Mars on August 6th, 2012. Damn, it took a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year.
It's a long way.
It was like 9-10 months. With an aim to determine that Mars was ever to support microbial life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to see if like
I think they found it.
any type of water, any type of plant.
Yeah, I think they found some kind of bug.
Really?
I think they found a bug of some kind.
Or an organism. Like even if it's a microscopic organism, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's life. This is weird about life too. We can be fucking anything.
Yes, sir.
Wish it said a little more about what they fucking found or whatever. Artemis program is the lunar exploration program of NASA. By 2024, NASA is committed to land American astronauts, including the first woman and the next man on the moon. That's this year. I do know that they are doing another mission to the moon, but I don't think they're landing on the moon. I think I'm saying something about they're trying to orbit around the moon, to go all around it. They haven't done that yet. Or they haven't done it in 50 years or some shit. And they're trying to do that in November this year. Maybe that's what I was talking about. This is by 2024, so it could be the same thing, yeah, because they are going back to the moon November this year. They're supposed to be. Get on NASA. That's the only thing different they can do than Elon. I guess. That motherfucker's gonna send a robot. Be walking around fucking talking to motherfucking aliens and all kind of shit.
See, the moon is 238,900 miles away. But they say that we can get there in like 3 days. In 69, we got there in 4 days, 6 hours, and 45 minutes. That's fast. To go that far, you can't drive that. In fact, they're saying that space shuttles travel at 17,500 miles an hour.
That's
so you're fucking hauling.
That's fucking hauling ass.
It's great. So you get there in 4 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
But as long as you're launching from the right spot, so that like they have to come up with a major plan.
Yeah, where exactly
the moon's gonna be, where you're launching from, where it's gonna be by the time you get there.
Yeah, you got to be leaving
shit.
at a certain time of the day and all that shit. Because there's going to be where you're going to be positioned.
Right.
And then you probably got like a window. If you don't make it in 20 minutes or something, you might want to wait till tomorrow or some shit. Which is also kind of crazy.
It's wild.
That'd be intense, man.
Yeah.
Just on this thing that's going, you're just going up.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah, it's 17,000 miles an hour.
You can't move. I don't know if you can even blink.
Yeah, so that's why they do them studies where you have to sit in a chair and that chair will be spinning.
You have a G-force.
Fucking like,
and they're like,
yeah, no doubt.
Dude, that's super. But they do that for guys that fly jets.
Well, yeah, because the jets are fucking flying super fucking fast too.
Yeah, and there's something about that drop. Like when you're going up and then you start coming down, it's like
yeah.
There's something about that. Because you even experience it on like a roller coaster.
Right.
That feeling that's like, feels like all your guts about to come out of you. Yeah. I imagine that on a jet though. Fuck. You might not want to eat anything before you do that shit.
Yeah.
NASA helps teachers to prepare students who will be the engineers, scientists, astronauts, and other NASA workers in the future. They will be the adventurers who will continue exploration of the solar system and universe. In fact, NASA has a tradition of investing in programs and activities that inspire students, educators, families, etc. NASA provides training to the teachers so that they learn new methods of teaching science and technology, engineering, and mathematics.
I mean, that's cool, but I mean, they're teaching all that shit everywhere, really.
I don't know.
I guess
feel like it'd be super special for that.
Yeah, if you really want to be an astronaut when you grow up or something, then that would be a good school to go to. I don't know what that costs.
Yeah, well, see, it sounded like it's almost like high school or something.
Right.
Yeah, but do you think that colleges offer a program to be an astronaut? I don't think so. How do you become a fucking astronaut?
NASA would.
Like, you just hit up NASA and be like, hey, man.
I want to be an astronaut.
And they're like, who the fuck are you?
And so then, okay, well then you're going to come here and you're going to learn all this shit before you can become an astronaut, dude. Yeah, I mean, because everything on the space shuttle and all the electronic components and all this shit, you got to learn all that shit. You got to
learn all kinds of safety precautions and all kind of shit, and then they got to learn all these things in case something happens. And
exactly.
It's a lot of vigorous, intense training and shit, you know? It's just like being in the military, pretty much. I imagine an astronaut, like somebody that's actively an astronaut, probably don't see the family a whole lot and shit.
Right.
Yeah, this sounds fucking intense, dude. Alright, well, that's it for NASA, but we got more. Alright, so I got something on the moon landing conspiracy. Apparently debunked. So I don't know, Jimmy. We'll see about it.
Yeah, I've heard some crazy things, Like, how did we have the technology to do that back then? We barely had the technology to even have TV.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, so somebody was telling me that like Apple has everything they need for like 2030, and they just like slowly but surely are kind of giving it to
Oh,
us.
yeah. The government.
That way you stay making money and you stay,
Right.
you know,
But
you just give it all at one time and you have nothing left or whatever.
Right.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, like they got chips that are much more powerful than the chips that they release in their products that are way faster, way bad.
Like they had cell phones long before we got cell phones.
Yeah.
Apparently, I mean, I don't know how true that is.
Right.
Because I don't know, like if you were involved in any of that, I don't know. I know that, like, if you're really a part of anything like that, I guess you really wouldn't be telling anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, back then, also, it was much harder to tell somebody about it. You couldn't get on Twitter and fucking expose it to the world.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but still, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they become kidnap your ass. If you did, they could snatch you up real quick.
Right.
And so there's probably another reason why they don't say nothing either. They already know what it is. Like whenever you're having your interview, they're showing you pictures of all your family and stuff. And they're like, yeah, we just wanted you to know, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up there. You know, that's some big wig shit.
All the Secret Service stuff and all that.
Yeah. All right. So this moon landing conspiracy. Yes, Apollo 11 did go to the moon. No, the U.S. flag isn't waving in the wind. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no wind. Yeah, because that's what they're trying to say. That picture, it looks like that fucking flag is blowing or some shit.
Yeah, sure does.
But, I mean, if there's no wind, no gravity, does that mean that flag was going to be this totally straight? Like, so if there's no gravity or anything, like if you had the flag and you went like this, and you let it go and it stayed like that, and then you went and you like pushed one in, it would like crinkle and then stay just like that.
Well,
so shame on them for not ironing this fucking flag before they hung it up, or what?
Well, the issue with that though is that there is a little gravity on the roof.
Oh, okay, true that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
still be pulling the flag down. Because like you could jump on the moon.
Oh, so the flag should be like this.
Yeah, should be sitting straight down.
So what if they knew that and they were like, nobody's even gonna know it's an American flag?
They put a flag up that's just.
Well, no, I mean maybe they like pulled it up and let it go, and it took 5 minutes for it to fall. And then take a picture.
Yeah.
And then they took the picture, and so it was like midway falling, and then it looks all crinkled, like it's blowing in the wind, and everybody's saying. I mean, because if I was a leader of anywhere, and I was seeing that the flag, you couldn't really tell it was my flag, motherfucker, you better fucking fix that shit before you take that picture. You fucking kidding me? The world needs to know this is mine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've also seen a picture of what the boots look like that they wore and what the footprints on the moon's pictures are. And they're two different,
Yeah, I heard something about that too. I don't know. Who's to say they all wore the same boots then?
Right.
I mean, you would assume.
But if you're in a spacesuit.
You would assume that they weren't like, here's 10 suits to choose from. Yeah. You would assume that they were like, this is what you're wearing, motherfucker. You know, you'd assume it'd be like that.
Right.
I don't know.
And like I said, so on the dark side of the moon, you would be frozen to death. And on the bright side of the moon, you'd be burning to death. So how does this spacesuit protect you from those extreme temperatures?
Well, see, I think it does, but I think also they were only able to be out of the shuttle for so long.
Well,
I think they had a certain time, and then they had to get back in that motherfucker before they did fry up and shit.
yeah.
You never know. Like, they could have got out, and 5 minutes later, they're fucking sweating. They're like,
Well,
fuck.
or only got out outside of the sun. Like there was no sun. Like you know.
Yeah.
You're talking about in '69, babe.
Yeah, you're talking a long time ago, man. I don't know. That was like the beginning of the world changing. Now there was the baby boom. They were making the automobile, the cell phone. Well, even though that was early 2000s, really, I think, right?
Cell phone?
Like 1999, 1998 is when it started.
No, I think they had some in the '80s, but they were the big briefcase.
Oh, right, yeah. And then they also had the phones in your car. Some cars had a phone.
Yeah.
Which is weird. How did that work?
True.
I mean, even if you use the antenna of your car, what the fuck was that going and doing, or what?
You have to ask NASA.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I mean, I guess you're right. They probably had something to do with that. I don't know. Like, if you really think about it, like when you talk to somebody on the phone, you're teleporting your voice. That's what it is.
There's a signal going from you to them. Think about that. Every time you send an email, a text message, talking on the phone, anything like that, there's a signal going from here to there. How many signals are in the air?
Yeah. So the signal's going.
All right.
And it never fucks up. Like, nobody's ever calling somebody and your phone's accidentally calling someone else. Like, if you're calling somebody and you hear somebody else, you're like, oh shit, and you look at your phone, it's going to say a different name if it's really not who you were calling.
Right.
And then you're like, fuck, that was my bad. The phone don't fucking make a damn mistake.
Yeah.
If it does, it's because of you. And that's been since cell phones came out. You would think that there'd be like some little, bumps along the way or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, every time I call my mom, I'm calling my dad. Oh shit, well let's fucking work on that. Or no, dude, that should never happen.
Right.
Even pagers, like even a pager, it's all just through the fucking air and shit. And it's never gonna fucking hit somebody else's pager, but you can be right next to them, motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Crazy how that shit works.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about from here to the moon,
Yeah, I mean,
oh, what? How does it even breach that?
maybe it's able to just because of what it is. Because it is a signal through the air or something. That motherfucker can do whatever the fuck he wanted to.
Well, just know that you ain't got a signal unless there's a cell phone tower
Oh, yeah.
50 miles of you, and you're talking about the moon being
Right.
50,000 miles from you.
Well, maybe they have one on the ship.
Yeah. Maybe.
So, yeah, that's
This is
weird.
before
Like, so,
the internet.
yeah.
Long before the internet. Hell, you and I are older than the internet,
Yeah.
so
I remember when cell phones started becoming a thing and the internet and all that shit. I was a little kid and shit, but I remember all that shit. Yeah, so this thing says the moon landings were faked. Apollo 11 didn't happen. Humans never set foot on the moon. And conspiracy theories surrounding the moon landings have proved worryingly persistent in the 50 years since Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin took their first small steps on the lunar surface. NASA's landmark achievement is still being challenged. Despite there being a wealth of information online debunking these conspiracy theories, the cries of hoax continue. Moons come quite literally in all shapes and sizes. Our moon is just one of more than 200 moons in the solar system that we've identified.
that's a lot of moons.
That's a shitload of moons. I think Venus has the most, I think so. I think Venus has like 4 or 6 moons. It's great. We find ourselves awash in an ocean of information online. National Space Discovery Director Professor Anu Oha. He said during a 2019 lecture in Greenwich, there has been more data produced in the last 2 years than in the whole of human history. This information is getting more turbulent every single day. The only tools we have to navigate through this maelstrom are the critical thinking skills that we are trying to develop in people as scientists. That's kind of creepy. Okay, so Sam, look at this image. Okay, so it says, at the full panorama of the NASA website, look closely at the shadows cast by astronaut Neil Armstrong and another object just out of shot. What's wrong with that?
So the shadows are going in different directions. So that
Yeah, I think so.
light
Oh,
coming from a different,
they're not parallel? Yeah, you're right.
coming from a different direction.
This image has been taken as proof by conspiracy theorists that the moon landings were faked. Surely, if the sun were the only light source, then the shadows should be parallel. Doesn't this prove the whole scene was mocked up in a studio with multiple light sources creating different shadow patterns? No. This is on the surface of the moon. But we can reproduce this effect anytime we want on Earth. You have all seen this phenomenon yourself. Because of perspective, parallel lines appear to be non-parallel. If you were trying to reduce on 2-dimensional plane a 3-dimensional situation, you can make lines do all sorts of weird things. Artists have been using this for centuries. That's kind of confusing the fuck out of me.
Yeah, artists maybe, yes.
Yeah, that's a painting. Painting's on a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, painting's on a picture.
Unless you have a light source, you can have a light over here and a light over here, and you can have two things, and then the shadows would be going opposite directions. But if it's one light source, everything is going in the same direction, whatever that light source is. Right. Like, if you and I are walking down the street and the sun's behind us and we have a shadow, both of our shadows are going the same way.
Yeah.
On Earth, on the moon, whatever.
So the second conspiracy theory, Apollo astronauts could not have survived Earth's radiation field.
Yeah, because you can burn it.
Right. Earth is surrounded by a zone of charged particles known as the Van Allen radiation belt. These are regions surrounding the Earth in our magnetic field, where high-energy trapped particles from the sun tend to get confined. Oha says what that means is that you are going into these regions, if you are going into these regions, they are extremely high radiation concerns.
Mm-hmm.
If that is the case, how did the Apollo astronauts travel through the Van Allen radiation belt and out of Earth's orbit unharmed? Surely the amount of radiation would have killed them.
Yeah, I mean, see, that's a good point too. So it's not even necessarily just heat, but uh, just radioactive material.
Oh, okay. So this thing is saying if you've ever done fire walking, you know what that is? Have you ever seen that?
Like when you walk,
Like on the
across
coals?
coals.
Yeah, the coals and shit. Yeah. I don't know why. That's like a culture thing or something.
Yeah.
Um, you know, the one thing you don't do is linger around in the middle of the fire pit. You cross as quickly as you can. From a science point of view, as long as you walk across quite quickly, looking at the thermal conductivity of your feet, you are not going to have enough thermal energy going into the soles of your feet to burn you. You're absolutely fine. Just don't hang around in the middle. So I guess if they stopped, that's what it's trying to say. Maybe if
It's like
since they're
potato,
moving, that's why they don't.
Hot potato.
Some shit,
If
yeah.
you're holding on to a hot object, you can like hold on to a hot object and go,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's not gonna burn you.
right.
But if you just go, the fuck out of you.
Yeah, because I guess it takes time, you know, to really harm you and shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. Shit's weird. All right, conspiracy theory number 3. Oh, this is a good one. Why are there no stars in pictures of the NASA's moon landings? So here's another picture that they're showing. No stars. Sorry, the voice like shit. Yes, they're saying no stars in the picture. Conspiracy theorists argue that the lack of stars in the Apollo 11 mission photographs prove that the event was staged. NASA could not have faked the full wonder of the lunar sky, and so they simply chose not to include any stars at all. Oh, because they could.
Yeah, if they was gonna fake it, it would have to be judged right and have all the stars the way they are, the constellations and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no stars in that picture. That is true. All right, conspiracy number 4. The Apollo 11 U.S. flag is waving in the wind.
Yeah, so they had a fan. But if it's a picture or a video?
Yeah, so this is a picture.
But yeah, you'd think that it would be straight down.
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely looks like it's doing something. I don't know, man. Buzz Aldrin saluting proudly waving the American flag on the moon remains one of the iconic images of the Apollo 11 mission. A declaration of U.S. supremacy over space race rivals the Soviet Union. But if there's no atmosphere on the moon, there's no wind, so why is the flag waving? I don't know. I mean, it may not be waving, it could be stuck like that. Some shit.
Right? Did they like put glue on it and iron it?
Put some hairspray on it and shit.
Yeah. Possibly.
Conspiracy number 5. If we really went to the moon in 1969, why have we never been back? Good point.
Right?
Yeah, you think we'd be going all the damn time?
Bunch of houses and everything. You can come visit here, stay at this hotel. You know, for $1 million a night, you can come and stay at the hotel.
Yeah.
And watch the Earth. You
Yeah.
know? And so that'd be cool shit for rich ass people that could do that. You know. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be like a week vacation. It takes you 3 days to get there, 2 days there, and 3 days to get back, whatever. A day there, whatever. You could feel weightless. You could just jump up and do 5 backflips on the moon landing.
No, that sounds like a damn lawsuit you have, really.
Yeah.
Oh, Jimmy's floating away. He's just let him go.
Yeah, just
He'll be back.
For, say that, you know?
He'll be back.
Yeah.
He's just going to another planet right now.
Right.
Yeah. Good question. Apollo 11, 50 years on leaving our mark on the moon. The moon landings were not a hoax. Apollo 11 did happen. Humans really did set foot on the moon. We have countless images, videos, lunar samples, and scientific data to prove it. But more than that, human exploration has literally left its mark on the moon's surface. Is this thing contradicting itself or what? Oh, I was just reading the fucking. That was another thing for a video, yeah. That was another thing for a video, Sean. Yes, I don't know, man.
Did we go to the moon? Or did we not?
I don't know. Yeah, so some people say that we really did it, but we did stage the footage, but we really did.
Maybe.
And some say that the reason why was because we did take all this stuff to take pictures and all this shit, and once we started trying, we were like, fuck, this ain't working. The atmosphere or whatever was fucking up everything, so they were like, we can't just say we did and not have proof.
Right.
That's what they say. I don't know. My dad told me he was in middle school or some shit whenever they were doing all that, and they would take an hour every day, and everybody would stop what they were doing, and they'd turn on the TVs and be watching them and learning about all that shit or whatever. And it was at a certain time every day, every other day, some shit.
I mean, see, that's kind of bizarre. Like, if really that shit's going on, then how are you sending the video signal from there to here in 69? Even today. Well, maybe with satellites. It would go from this satellite to this satellite to this satellite to Earth or
Just
something.
make its way back, yeah.
You know?
Well, see, but that's the thing, though, is we did have the satellite already. The satellite was first.
I know, but that satellite wasn't ready for all that. I wouldn't think. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think we just sent a satellite up there that can only do two things.
You would think it would have to be several satellites.
Yeah, I mean, we could have more than one, especially now, but I don't know. I feel like. I don't know, man. I feel like satellites do a lot more than we think.
Maybe.
And probably for, everybody's own sake, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably better be down there than the fucking satellite do.
Right.
I don't know, man. Yeah, space is very, very odd.
Very odd.
Can't go there.
I ain't never been.
You ain't supposed to go there.
I ain't never been.
I might go to the space station sometime, dude.
That'd be cool.
I might take a fancy lawnmower with me.
There you go.
I'd be like, you ever seen this shit?
Right? Getting the aliens drunk and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly, dude. So I don't know, man.
So
What do y'all think about it? Space is real, space fake, Earth's flat, it's round.
yeah, leave a
That's
comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, dude.
Other than that, we don't know.
I guess nobody does, really.
But I think that's going to conclude this episode.
That's it, with.
And so leave a like, subscribe.
Get that damn lawnmower, dude.
We love y'all.
Peace
We'll
out,
see you on the next.
Peace out, YouTube.
See you next Wednesday.